needs a bit of love. Well, that should do it. Yeah, this is where the propeller will be sat. I've got some foundations in the ground, but that's not why you're here. Hello folks, welcome back to, I suppose, part 2 of doing an oil change on a 1940s Karrier K6. The propeller behind me is what's going to be mounted outside, if you're wondering. But like I say, that's not why you're here. So let's have a quick update of where we got to. So in the last episode we got the sump removed, and it has to be said, yeah, that's rather sludgy. It was also noted that this sump is a bit crusty, however it has more paint on than this one. So I think what I'm going to do, just to speed things up a bit, is clean this sump up and the oil strainer that came with it, and then I need to clean up under there a bit, probably put some paint on this sump and get it back on. So first thing to do is I need to take these little 5/16 bolts out. I can take this sort of windage baffle tray out and give it a clean. Okay, let's yeah, let's come out. No, it doesn't. That one fits. That one fits. So we'll get these bolts out and get this baffle plate out. Little washer on each one of those. I'm going to drop those in a tub of thinners. Oh Lord. So they're all coming out. What's that one? A bit tight. Right. We'll wash it. So yeah, this was actually part of a routine 6,000 mile oil change. I think would have got beyond the point of this sort of build up of crap in a sump, but it would seem modern engines with these wet belt cam belts, they're doing exactly the same thing. I don't know which I'd rather work on. Right, that's all the bolts out. And simply remove. Ew. Right, I think next, some cellulose thinners. Just look at that chewy goodness. However, it does actually look cleaner than the one we removed. So, let's get some thinners and start giving her a clean up. Right, I've just dropped the tray, windage tray, baffle plate back in. So I'll just get the bulk of this off. Just using cellulose thinners. We'll be honest, it is my go-to cleaner for gunged up engine parts. Now this is the sump from the engine block that had the crack, and I suspect it hadn't done many miles. This possibly being the first time the sump was off it since it was rebuilt. But it has to be said, there's still quite a sludge build-up. That's one layer off. That's better. Stand that out of the way and give it a quick squirt of brake cleaner. Right, we can now get into the sump itself. Oh. That's thick. This is the cleaner sump. I think one side's worse than the other because it was laid on its side for some time. So all the sludge would have run to one side. Oh, that's thick. think this is going to look worse, but it looks better. Yeah, I think what I'll do is put a bit more thinners in the equation and let it dilute this oil and gunge and bring you guys back when it's looking a little bit cleaner. Well, that's one layer of crap out. Still plenty to clean. Just been checking these little areas when they're a bit pitted. Well, it's not looking too bad. Still need to get all the paint off it. But that's definitely an improvement. Yeah, definitely an improvement. Well, nearly the end of the day, so I think what I'm going to do is start Rosie's sump up, if it will. Leave it to drain out. All that chunky goodness. That's pretty disgusting, folks. Some rather large chunks coming out. Quite therapeutic to watch, really. Well, it's another day and I've spent quite a bit of it just cleaning up this sump. Now I'm going to put a bit of paint on it just to protect it, and then can move on to the oil pickup strainer and oil filter bracket that needs cleaning and one needs painting. And then hopefully once all painted up we can start reassembling things. Well, it's now Friday and I just seem to have only accomplished making a mess this week. So, that is the sump we removed. I drained some of the sludge out and then decided to clean up the spare sump, which is here. So, yeah, I might have got the shade of turquoise a little bit off there, but it's a coat of paint and it'll protect it. That's the main intention. So with that cleaned out, also pitted that bracket. So the two pipes to clean up, and I'm about to go underneath and remove the pickup pipe. Right. I suppose I can get in there and just undo this. Is that going to go on? Well, Mickey Mouse size is that? One size fits all. Bloody mess of this fella. Come on. Yay, more mess. More oil to clean up. Right. So that's the pickup off. We can give that a clean up. So here it is. It's kind of known as a floating type setup because that does move on this part which goes up into the block. Now looking at this, we've got a split pin through there, which should allow the removal of that. And it looks like this clips over, so I'm guessing that holds the gauze in. So we'll get it all taken apart, and then at least we can give it a proper clean. So, and we... Coming out. Not very well. It's moving slowly. There she flies. You can see in there, doesn't actually look that bad. Right, found a piece of rag. Yeah. Absolutely no seal or anything there. Does make you wonder if that gave problems, if it's sucking air through there when the oil level was low. Who knows? Anyway, it's about... Oh. This is what was nice about the olden days. You could take things apart. he says. That strainer come out? Yeah, that looks to be hammered over, folks. I'll have a closer investigation. So, turns out the gauze doesn't come out. Which is a bit of a disappointment. This is from an age where everything came apart. So I'm going to have to clean it up the best I can, folks. I think I'll give it a soak in some thinners and get the other bits and pieces cleaned up and get it ready to go back on. Well, it's cleaned up. Didn't particularly look that impressive. Took a bit to get out of there, but she does. As much as it doesn't look clean, it is actually clean. So, I need to... oh, that was a good guess. This is the, how should I say, the installed height. So, this sits at the right level in the sump. I measured this gap to start with. So, if I go to there. I can wind it up in a quick nip, and that's good. So, what else have we got done? We have all the bolts for the sump, having a little soak in cellulose thinners there, so I can clean them all up. Clean both the pipes out, so they're good to go. The fittings are good to go into the new filter. Put a little bit of paint on the bracket, nothing special, and I'm going to salvage this old gasket because I haven't got a new one. So, next up is some cleaning up, and then we can get the sump back on, new filter on, and all that jazz. Well, that's the oil strainer back on. I've been round the sump rail, as it were, and give that a clean. Put the bracket back on for the oil filter. So next up is to get the sump on, but that sounds like a tomorrow job. So on that bombshell, we'll make it tomorrow now. Well, it's now Saturday morning. Temperature has risen quite a lot, and there's definitely signs of condensation about, so the quicker we get this sump fitted and all buttoned back up with some oil in it, the better. So, next up, I'm just going to clean up all the retaining bolts for the sump. I'm doing that on the wire wheel. I need to jack Rosie up at the front, just to give a little bit more clearance, because it'd be a shame to scratch all the paint off it, bring it back on. So, I'll go clean the bolts up. Why don't you get yourself a cuppa, and we shall progress. It would seem the GoPro decided not to record. So, yeah, the sump's back up in place, folks. Yeah, I've got a few scratches on it, but such is life. Just going to go around, give all the bolts a nip up, and then we can address the oil filter and its little pipes. And then, I do believe, we can put some oil in her. Well, that's the sump back on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a brew, and I'll come back and just go around and just give them all a nip. And then after she's been running, I'll give them all a nip. So, time for a brew. The end is in sight of the longest oil change ever. So next up, I put the fittings into this oil filter canister. I'm going to fill the filter with oil, insert it into there, insert that into its bracket on the side of the engine. We can then refit these pipes, which I refrained from polishing, because I know they would polish up nice, but not really a World War II thing as it was polishing everything. And put the dipstick in once we've got some oil in. So, I'll crack on. Right, let's fill the filter. This jug may look minging, but it's clean where it needs to be. Let it settle down. Yeah, steady. I think we're about 2/3 full, so no doubt I'll overfill it. That may be enough. Maybe too much. With the bubbles. Fraction more. Right, I've just reduced the level somewhat. And yes, they are decommissioned boxer shorts. It's not people nicking your hand rag in the workshop. So, screw the filter into it. Yep. Yeah, I've definitely got this full. Fucking hell. Making a bloody mess here. Right, with that in place, try and siphon a bit of oil out. We can get the bottom on and get it into place. Well, it's in place. Get some pipes to nip up and the clamp to nip up. What size is that? I put some oil in it today, but because I've used sealant on that old second-hand sump gasket, which I offer no guarantees with, Dave, I'm going to leave it till tomorrow before I start her up. I don't know what spanner I'm using here, but what is it? Hang on, what have we got here? Yeah. Let's try and get it where it wants to be pipe wise, and then we can give them a nip up and also nip that clamp up on the around the filter. So I'll bring it back when I get this done, and hopefully shortly you'll be watching us start up. Right, this is absolutely covered in condensation. Temperature warmed up again last night. I'll take that off at some point, give it a clean. Yeah. Not the cleanest filler neck, but you know. Now, allegedly this should hold 9.1 litres. And what I did is I poured out 4 litres and then filled the filter. So let's fill her up. So if I can get in. Yeah, probably be easier from the other side if I'm honest. Yeah, I didn't really think about this, did I, folks? There's an easy and a hard way of doing things. I can usually find the hard way. Right, that's 4 litres of oil and dribbles everywhere. Yes, you do. Yeah. Messy sod. Right, I'll pour some more out and we'll get it topped up, folks. Yeah, probably easier with me in the cab. Hope it is 9.1, because I had to overfill the bloody thing. Unlike a modern car, this oil tube goes straight down to the engine block, so you're not getting delayed as it makes its way through the cylinder head, etc. In fact, I can hear it dripping into the sump. Must be about there now, won't it? Right. That's 9 litres. Get rid of that now. Yes, this engine is definitely covered in bloody condensation, folks. Alright, shove the dipstick back in. Yeah, we're just on the line, so that'll do, folks. So the next job is to fire her up, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. Yeah, look at it. Hate this time of year, folks. Right, let's make it tomorrow. Well, it's now Sunday morning, day 6 of a 6,000 mile oil change. Probably the longest oil change I've ever done. Yes, that was quite grim. Give that sump a clean out at some point. So, just had a cuppa, got the battery on charge, got some fresh fuel. Quite a bit of condensation kicking about, but I think we're about ready to we'll spin the engine over without the ignition on and just see if it builds up its oil pressure on the gauge, and then we shall fire her up. Right, I've not attached the fuel can yet. I'm just going to spin her over and we shall observe the oil pressure gauge. Right, we're showing the starting of the pressure building up. So let's get everything set up and see if she fires up, folks. Does she want to play? Right, I'm just going to run her for a short time and then have a quick look around for any oil leaks. So, ignition on. Give it a fire. Well, I think that's a success, folks. Can't see any oil dropping down below, which is always good. We're showing about 30 psi on tick over. Going up to about 50, which is higher than before. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I think Rosie's happy with that. Yeah, I think that's a success, folks. We'll just knock her off and check for any oil leaks. Well, that sump was covered in condensation this morning. Definitely no nasty streaks of oil running down it. The pit of doom. Yeah, we're looking good. Yeah, we're looking dry, folks, that's good. So, yeah, as you can see, she was covered in condensation. Right, I might just let her warm up a bit more and take it from there, folks. Well, with no obvious leaks down below, I'll let her warm up a bit more and then I'll give those sump bolts a quick nip round just to make sure they're all tight, and I think we can then call it a job well done. Just notice that fan belt definitely needs changing. I wouldn't trust it on the road, that is for certain. So, ignition on. On the button. Well, I can feel some heat coming off her now, so that's good. Got a bloody shock off the lead then. Bastard. I think that's a success, folks. Well, on that bombshell, folks, that's the oil change done. She runs a lot sweeter. Still quite a bit of work to do. We've still the carburettor and manifold to change, but that's not happening straight away. So yeah, this is episode 10, and for now, the last of the series. So, thanks for getting to know Rosie. Thanks for watching the series, liking, subscribing, all that jazz. And I'll catch you on the next one.